Check. All systems go. We are on part 5 of the 2016 Suzuki GSXR600 valve adjustment service. You guys have been following along pretty much. The last 2 videos have been removing the cams, checking the clearances, swapping shims, putting everything back together, checking the timing. And here we are in part 5, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty much going to put the valve cover back on and install the throttle bodies, put the radiator back in place, start getting all the electrical connections back together, and pretty much get this bike fully reassembled with the exception of the spark plugs and the air filter and airbox. We're still waiting on the parts, so we're going to go ahead and hold off on those until the parts come in. But we can pretty much get 90% of the bike put back together and pretty much have it in a condition where all we got to do is pop those spark plugs in, put the air box on with its new air filter, and this bike should be good to go. So what we're going to do is just make sure everything's good. Pretty much we already verified our timing. If you were paying attention in videos 3 and 4, those are going to be members only videos once they get rolling. So if you're fortunate enough to catch parts 3 and 4, that's how we basically do the valve adjustment. At this part right here, this is basically going to be reassembly. So surfaces look clean and ready to go. You can do like one last final sweep if you want. Go ahead and grab a rag. We're just going to wipe down these surfaces here in case there's any gunk or debris. Okay. All right, very nice. Let's get this jigsaw back together. The sooner we get it back together, the sooner we can go test drive it, see how fast it is. Okay, that's pretty good. I kind of like that. Let's go ahead and seal this section of the valve cover here. Everything looked pretty good. Okay, looking nice. Just goop those up. It's okay. This is doesn't mess anything up. It's non-contaminating. It'll just kind of melt into the oil, which is really cool. Okay. There we go. Goop. And what makes this nice too is when next valve adjustment, say we don't, want to replace the valve cover gasket, should just come right off. This stuff usually cleans up pretty easily, and it's a lot different than RTV, but it seals pretty well, like really well. Sometimes better than RTV, I feel like, on certain applications, like stuff that's pretty tight already to begin with. Yeah. This gasket cinch is like when it's kind of expired, kind of works great for like laying it on kind of nice and thick like this when it starts to get into that expired condition. Like lays on like nice and thick. All right, cool. So got a little gasket cinch bugger. Let's go ahead and slam this valve cover on. And I guess if we want to make things pretty, that should look fine like that. Probably won't be able to see these really. There we go. It's fine. Aesthetics isn't too critical. We're not going to see. I mean, we're not replacing the valve cover. We're reusing it. So as long as it doesn't leak, should be fine. I'll go ahead and just for good measure, put a little bit of grease on things. Okay. All right, cool. So originally I kind of popped it off from the bottom, but kind of was looking at it and it looks like you can put it in from the top too. Let's see here. How did I do this? I think there we go. Okay. Throttle bodies are getting in the way. Oh, that's why. Probably help if I was paying attention over here on this side. It's like they kind of assumed that was going to happen. They kind of popped out of place just a little bit. Let's come over here and try to fix it. Probably should have glued it in from the other side, but not a big deal. It'll be just fine. They always are. Okay. Okay. Oh, this one's going to keep popping out of place. So it'd probably help if I put this part in correctly. Okay. Bam. Just like that. Let's see. All the way around. Doesn't look like it popped out of place. Very nice. Okay, see how we're at on the other side. Make sure that we're lined up. Let's take a look. Kind of a little bit harder to see. Let's see, with the rectifier in the way. Let's see here. I can't see. See from the top, maybe. See, the valve cover looks okay. Yeah, looks fine. Looks like that lower one right there is where it kind of needs to be. Looks like it is, at least. Let's see, what is that? Yeah, it's the only crappy thing about using a used valve cover sometimes. Hopefully it doesn't leak. Let's see. Trying to get a better look here. Sometimes you gotta it looks okay. It's kind of hard to tell on the phone, but it's that gooped up looking thing. Close enough. Just kind of critical things to check. Make sure your valve cover's on so you don't have to do it twice. You could even take off these bolts right here. Looks like that one's held in. Got all these broken plastics here. But you could almost take off your rectifier, and that would kind of give you like a better look inside. Maybe we should do that. Wouldn't hurt. Might only take a couple seconds. Well, maybe while we're on this side, we'll go ahead and tighten that up before we forget. We'll double check that rectifier. Okay. All right. Okay. So pretty much got all that put together. Let's go ahead and bust out. We're going to need a 10mm. And looks like a 4. Let's see, it's a 5. This one. Okay, so we can see that one's good. And that one looks like it's good enough too. Let's go ahead and let's see. There's that goop right there. Get some of that stuff out of the way. Sometimes this old RTV can kind of get in the way. Should be fine with this situation now. Hold that. There we go. And looks like our valve cover is nicely seated. Let's go ahead and torque it down and see what happens. It should seal. Okay, so let's see. Those, here we go. We also have our timing plug. Usually I like to throw a little bit of grease on this too, or you can also throw just like a little bit of oil. Just a little bit of oil like that. Actually, Can you modify microcircuitry from expensive earbuds? Um, Theoretically, I could with the proper equipment. Some of the traces off of microchips you can't. They're too small. They're almost like the size of depending on like how small they are. They start measuring them in what is it? They're not even in centimeters anymore. It's like in maybe even smaller than millimeters, like nanometers, maybe some of the circuits. So I don't know. Probably be that's the thing with China. They have a lot of those chip making machines that are pretty good at making that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these going here. And what I do is spray a little bit of oil right here, right on the shoulder. Okay, flip all these bad boys over. Okay, kind of put those in by hand. Okay, last two. Let's kind of see. All right, those look like number sixes. 5. What's this? This is a 8. Let's go ahead and put these ones away. Number 6. Let's see how this works. Fork it down. Okay. Let's get some breaker bother. These are supposed to be around 10 foot-pounds or 14 newton meters. I'm going a crisscross pattern. All right, one last time, double check, make sure our gasket looks good. Yeah, it's pretty nice. All the way down. Kind of see it sticking out there. All right, double check the back side. Looking good. See the grease. Looks pretty good. I don't see it like poking out or doing anything weird. Double check this side. Yeah, looks pretty good. Looks like it's in place. Very nice. Don't expect it to leak. Okay, it's about 10 foot-pounds. Very nice. Okay, so that's our valve cover. Fits McGee. So before we get too ahead of ourselves and start throwing stuff on, I believe the next thing was our heat shield. It's like kind of a air dam, basically air diverter. And I can't remember exactly how this went. I think it goes like that. Let's go like that. How does it go? So it goes on the bottom side. Let me say it goes like this. Let's see these cables. Okay, cool. So let's get all of our cables in. All right, and then come over here. Let's see, we're going to drop it in place. Boom. Okay. Yeah, so that goes like that. And I think our main harness. Yeah, so that went like that. Let's see, before we get too ahead of ourselves, here's this. This went that. This goes right here. Okay, that went to the horn. Okay, we'll leave that like that. That went to the radiator fan. Looking pretty solid. No pinching. That's going to go to the fan. Goes to the horn. And then this right here. Let's go ahead and connect these. Pretty sure. Okay. It's going to go right here. We'll zip timeout. Okay. So that's perfect. Little plastic guide kind of channels the main harness on the side right here. And the connector kind of tucks underneath on the fairing. So that all looks legit. Let's see, I think we can go ahead and connect all this. Maybe before we connect it, we'll put down our rubber dampener. So rubber dampener, let's see, make sure we're not going to forget anything. Horn, radiator, we'll probably put, let's see, pair valve, that's going to go last. Okay, here we go. So okay, these are horn. I'm going to be putting these items on next. And I forget what this, oh yeah, this holds on the pair valve. This is for the horn. Okay. Okay, and this is a cover here. I believe that goes, we'll figure it out. Airbox is not going on today. Maybe we'll put the seat on in the gas tank just to get it out of the way. This probably goes on, I don't know what side this goes on actually. It may go on this side. Let's see here. Yeah, maybe we'll save this with all this hardware. Oh, okay. So that goes right there. Okay, heat shield. How did this go? It's like it has a indentation. It's like that's the top of the valve cover right there. So you'll see the numbers on it. So I'm guessing it goes like this. Okay, cool. Now let's go ahead and connect all of our connectors. Okay, 3 connectors. We also have this radiator down here. Let's see, these are spark plug first foils right here. And this is for, I think, an air temperature sensor. Maybe that's what that's for. Go ahead and connect these. Left-hand switch. Okay. Very good. Oh, this is for the pair valve. That's what that's for. And these are for the coils. We got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. What's this one right here for? Ah, cam position sensor. So where does that's for the cam position sensor. Okay, that one right there is for the pair valve. So let's go ahead and get that pair valve dialed in. So it looks like it's going to be this one. Okay, we'll need a 10 millimeter. Let's see. Use an extension here, kind of make things a little simpler. Let's see. This may or may not work well. Let's find out. Okay, it's gonna go like that. We'll kind of set this up. Kind of do want to throw the spark plugs in just so I can fire it up and make sure it sounds good. But then that's an extra step. Maybe I can do it without putting the airbox on. Okay, so I think I could have done this also with the radiator in place. It may or may not have been a little easier. I'm not sure. Yeah, it'll probably be easier actually. Let me put the radiator in place really quick. So I'm pretty sure these are going to be the radiator bolts right here. And we'll go ahead and just put a little bit of grease on the threads just because after a couple of years, these things usually get kind of stuck in there. Kind of need a longer extension. Let's go ahead and get a 10 millimeter. See if we can thread one of these in. So pretty much see that side, it kind of goes like right up in there. Let's see. Oh, no, maybe. No. Huh. Can't get it. So sometimes it's a little easier. Let's try putting the bottom one in. Okay. Good. Perfect. Okay. Now let's see if we can get this one in. I don't know. You know, it'll probably help. Slightly longer extension. There we go. Bam. It's okay. Nothing like a little bit of broken plastic. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the last one in. Let's see, we're shooting for like, oh, where is it? Right. That bad boy. That's the last one right there. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's all 3 bolts put in finger tight. Should be able to torque them down at this point. Okay. Okay. And over here, don't forget to plug in the radiator fan. Bam. Okay, cool. We're looking good. Valve cover looks like it's pretty solid. Cam chain tensioner's on. Radiator's on. Coolant level looks okay. Cap's on. Okay, very nice. Let's go ahead and tighten up that last bolt. Okay, very nice. Should be good. Okay, cool. All right, so now we can go focus on putting that back together. And we could probably also put our rectifier back on. And this was, I don't know, just a broken piece of plastic, but we're gonna put it back on. It's for the customer right there. Hell yeah. Okay, cool. So rectifier is back on. Goes behind it. Some free play. Let's go ahead and put that horn back on. So we got the horn right here. You go ahead and use that 10 millimeter again. Okay, we'll go ahead and plug our horn back in. All right, sweet. Okay. Okay, good. That's all dialed in now. Very nice. Okay, so maybe now we'll bolt that on. Okay. It's almost time for a soda break. Okay, don't think we're gonna need this 10 millimeter, this long one. Go ahead and put this away. Gonna get this work area just a little cleaned up. Makes it easier the cleaner things are. So let's see. Should have a 10 millimeter right here. Let's see if we can get. What's that at? Right here. Can't find the hole. Wait. Ugh. There we go. Found the hole. Okay. So that's looking good. Yep, right where it should be. Go ahead and torque it. Let's see here. What did I do with right here? So come up from the top. Okay, tight enough. Okay, this is all dialed. Probably almost start putting those throttle bodies in. Get those clamps. These go around the electrical connections. So these, let's go ahead and get this splash shield put on. So we found that's going to go back under on the underside. Let's see. I think it went like that, if I'm not mistaken, with the cutout on that side for the brake line. Let's find out. Might be kind of hard to show this. Not super critical though. Let's see. That's the cutout for the front brake line. So far, so good. Let's see, we're gonna need a slightly smaller extension. Let's get this right here. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. All right, very nice. Got a little splash shield right there. I think I've had this project now for just under 2 weeks. To do a valve adjustment though, I don't know, I'm just taking my time on it in between. It's typically about a 4 to 6, 5, 6 hour job, put it all back together and figure like an hour or so, 2.5 hours to do chain sprockets and fix, kind of went through the tire, just double checking, make sure everything's, see what was kind of broken. I do rear brake pads. So this one right here definitely it needed a lot of work, basic maintenance. So got quite a decent amount of time into it. It's pretty standard though, working on Suzuki's, or I like working on Suzuki's. They're pretty easy to work on in my opinion. Pretty logical in a sense in how they're engineered. Pretty straightforward, not too much crazy technology. Um, make a good amount of power from bike to ride. So let's see here. We got TV reporter in Irakia. What's going on? All right. So that's all hooked up. What else can we do? Guess it's time to put on, what is it? Time to put on those throttle bodies? I almost think so. That's the top end, all the top stuff of the bike. Let's go ahead and want to just wipe out where the throttle bodies go. We'll go ahead and put a little bit of WD. Yeah, because these were just a little on the dirty side. Trying to do this with the rag blocks so none of the junk falls into the intake port as best as possible, because these ones right here are kind of dirty. I don't know if somebody like stuck grease in it or what exactly happened. Usually I'll just put a little WD-40. That way it kind of helps get them in, but if you put grease, usually a grease will cause them to leak. Cause an air leak. You just put like a fine oil, a light oil, so to speak. Okay, go ahead and wipe off the throttle bodies themselves. Okay. Should seal pretty well, nice and clean. As clean as they need to get. Not going into outer space. Yeah, somebody definitely put like grease on this thing at some point. That's what that was. Normally you don't put grease on the throttle bodies into the boots, especially on a newer bike like this. If it was like 30 years old, this thing's like 8 years old, so it's starting to get pretty old, but I'm gonna say it's kind of unnecessary on newer bikes. All right, let's pull out our plugs. Trying to get all the junk from falling into the cylinder. Very nice. Okay, cool. Oops, and then top it off. So a little bit of WD. Stuff's drips a little faster than what I want to. See, I thought I saw a drip right here. Okay, just rub it around, kind of even it out. Okay, sweet. So now, if I'm not mistaken, I think this gets plugged in. Okay, let's see what we got going here. Make sure we don't forget to unplug anything in. Let's see. Now it looks all good. Wonder if we should let's go ahead and okay, see. It goes like that. Is that how I'm going to do it? Okay. Looks like we're all the way flush. See the throttle body meeting the boot right there. Nice and flush. Nice and flush right there as well. Cool. Let's see, is there anything else that we disconnected? I don't think so. Throttle cables went like that. Let's see, airbox. Let's see, just make sure we're not forgetting anything electrical. Let's see, this got tucked down into there like that. Okay. This is a vent for the gas tank. These are vents for the gas tank. This goes to the airbox. Airbox. Okay, I think that's good. These are going to be coils here. These are going to go like that. Okay, so what else can we do? It's going to go here like that. Not so much putting the airbox on yet. I guess we can go ahead and seat those in, get them torqued down. Say we're tightening up the throttle body boots. It's a single screw, basically tightens up both clamps, one per side. Okay, very nice. Okay, that's it. Throttle bodies are on. Sweet. Okay, what else can we do with this thing? Let's go ahead and wipe the grease. Somebody put grease on this. Just kind of do a basic wipe. It's nice. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Okay. Very nice. So let's see, what can we do at this point? kind of want to start her up. It's kind of late though. It's already midnight. Probably wait till tomorrow to fire this thing up. Need to blow out. Need to blow out those intake ports there before I start cranking this thing over. But let's see. All that's put back together. Everything's put back together. Valve covers on. At this point, if I had spark plugs and an air filter, I could put this thing back together and have it finished. I'm thinking I can go ahead and finish up on putting the fairings on at least. That would be another thing I can go ahead and knock out right now. Let's see. I think we're good on this glove. Gloves are getting a little greasy. Okay, let's see. See if we can throw this fairing on. So we're gonna go ahead and tuck this. Okay. All right, boom. Got that on. And go ahead, hold that right there. Don't fall apart. Just gonna put a little bit of grease right here, so put this on in the future. Put a little bit of grease in these things too. Yeah, not like the older Gixxers. These plastics are almost made to break. Okay, hopefully the grease kind of keeps it all put together. Okay, very nice. That all looks seamless, like how it's supposed to be. With the crash damage, even the holes are lining up pretty well still. So that's the main difference between, Chinese fairings and OEM fairings. OEM's fairings, even when they're all broken, they still fit better. Let's see here. Let's see. Thought there was one more, maybe not. I might just go like that. Yeah, that should be fine. So now at this point, we go ahead and rock and roll. Get some of these fairing bolts on. Wrong size. Okay, that looks right there. Okay. Oh, it might be a little too long. Let's see. Where's this one for? Stuff for that side, maybe? Is that where that was supposed to go? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Put it back. Let's see how it fits. That one. Okay, pretty solid. Tighten that one up by hand. So now we can go ahead and throw that other side on. I think there was one more cover right here. Is that the cover? Maybe this one. So it looks like okay, very nice. So we still have a couple more bolts. I'm assuming these are going to be for the other side. Some of the threads here are kind of a little bummed up. Not a big deal. Okay. So that one. I wonder if there is a difference. I feel like one of these longer ones here, maybe it goes on the other side. Ugh. And you never know if they're aftermarket or original. Possibly more higher chance of it being aftermarket, judging by once stuff starts getting broken. Typically customers will just start putting parts on. So it looks like it was leaking oil. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. So, sorry, it's coming apart. Okay. There we go. It's not super solid, but there we go. Now it's super solid. All right. Let's see. Okay. That's pretty straightforward. Ooh, these are fucking dirty. All right. Let's get these fairings back on. Super greasy. Okay. One down. Oh. Okay, there we go. So we got the lower fairings. It's all put together. All right, sweet. Let's see here. No, I think this one was supposed to go down there. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay. Size, let's see. That one, no. Is that not for this one? Or is it missing a grommet? What's going on here? This one? Let's try that. Okay. All right. We just got these little plastic rivets to pop back in. Should be able to do most of that from the other side. Let's see. We got some broken. There may not be much I can do about this right here. Okay. Ugh. Yep. Probably about as good as it's gonna get. I thought I heard a aha. Ugh. There you go. Thought I heard a rivet fall. All right. Okay, so fairings are back on and dialed in. That's pretty much it on the fairings. Let's see, double check that torque. It's down below. It's this one. Okay. Dialed. Double check that one more time. Yeah, that was okay. Cool. So what else? Got our fairings on. Have the gas tank, airbox seat. Let's see. That's all for the Gixxer Banshee. What else do we got? So that's axle stuff. Okay, so I think I'll be able to put, these are for the gas tank, airbox. So shoot, did I just run out of stuff to do on this thing? They kind of want to glue that grip back on for the customer. Can I do it without breaking it? Yeah, fucking glue this thing on pretty good. No. It's almost there. Jesus. This thing is freaking super glued in there. I don't think Air WD-40's getting through this. I put too much super glue. It's like fucking bonded right there. Jesus. Struggle game. Come back to it in a couple minutes. So I did say I'd fix that for the customer. A little bit of a loose grip right here. Probably got a little loose. It's been dropped a couple times. So sometimes that'll happen when they get dropped. It'll kind of loosen up the grip if they're not glued on the best. Let's see, what else can I see? What else can I do? Guess I could start prepping we're gonna do chain and sprockets on this thing. So that's probably next thing I should probably get started on. Let's see, how much battery percent? We got about 15% battery. It's about 1230. So maybe it's probably going to be it right here. I'm probably going to call it a night, or at least for a bit. I got to get some charge time, and then we'll see if I come back on this. I'd like to get this dialed in, so I'm expecting the rear axle tomorrow. So I should be able to finish up the rear axle and pretty much get this thing off the lift, get chain and sprockets, rear axle, and all that stuff fixed. Then we can basically get the bike off the lift, cover up the airbox, or just put the throttle bodies, or put the airbox back on temporarily, and the spark plug coil sticks if we're going to take it outside. And then the last thing will be is obviously installing those new spark plugs, coil sticks, connect the wires, put the air box. This should already, all this right here should all be ready, plug and play. Pretty much everything should be dialed in. There should be no guesswork or trying to figure out what's what. It's all pretty straightforward. Spark plugs, air box, gas tank, bike should fire up and run. Um, we were going to replace the O-ring on this, and I need to focus on the rear end. So maybe this is what, part 5. We're probably going to make a part 6, probably a part 7. We'll see how far we can get. I'll pull off that cover right now. I'm gonna go get a soda. Okay, guys, so I think I'm gonna take a break. It's about that time. Appreciate everybody hanging in there with me. If you're new to this channel, just found me, pretty much we work on everything. This is a long series right now. We're doing this in segments on this GSXR600. So once we finish up with this one, we have a Yamaha WR. I have a Harley Davidson Dyna that I need to get on. And I also have some carburetors here that need to get knocked out. Those carburetors need to get finished so we can get them back to the customer. And that's pretty much it. Um, Just trying to think. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Go ahead and follow along, hit subscribe, give this video a like, thumbs it up, and stay tuned for the next one.